So in this video, we're going to talk about what if your equation is not factorizable. So let's say if you have x squared plus 3x plus 1 is equal to 0. So this is clearly not factorizable since you don't have two numbers that multiply to 1 and add up to 3. Actually, multiplying to 1 is just 1 multiplied by 1, which add to 2. So if your equation in this form, ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, meaning that all the terms are on one side and 0 on the other hand side. We use the quadratic formula to solve it when it's not factorizable. And the quadratic formula says that your x, the answers for the equation, are going to be given by negative b plus or minus root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So this formula is not going to be given on your test, so you need to memorize it. Now, all you have to do now is finding the values of a, b, and c, and then plug them in the formula. So the value of a, it's the number beside the x squared. So the number beside the x squared here is 1. So a is 1. So if there's no number written beside the x squared, then it's definitely 1. The b is the number beside the x. So your b is going to be 3. And c is the number that is alone without the x. So c is going to be 1. So now that you got your a, b, and c, all you need to do is you plug in the formula. So negative, you replace the b with 3 plus or minus root b squared, which is 3 squared, minus 4ac divided by 2 multiplied by 1. So this is going to give you negative 3 plus or minus root. 3 squared here is 9, and 9 minus 4, you're going to get 5 over 2. So this are going to give you two answers, which is negative 3 plus root 5 over 2 and negative 3 minus root 5 over 2. Right? So these are the two answers you get for the quadratic equation. So let's ask a question. Does the quadratic formula solves any quadratic equation? Well, actually, it sounds like a trick question, but actually it is true. The quadratic formula can solve any of the quadratic equations, all the ones that we solved in the previous videos. So why don't we always use it? Well, since it's going to definitely take more time than factorization. So factorization is easy, but the quadratic formula has root and has a lot of steps to do. However, if at any point you find yourself stuck and you can't factorize, then you'll definitely do the quadratic formula. But notice that if your exam is a multiple choice exam, so if you look at the question and you find all the answers have root, you can notice that the factorization does not give you square roots usually. So if the answers all have roots, then probably you should think that you need to use the quadratic formula. Let's take another example for the quadratic formula. If you have, let's say, even if you have a number beside the x, 2x squared, let's say minus 5x plus 3. All right, so you need to make sure again that all the terms on one side and the 0 on the other side. So let's say if you had, if this is equal to 0, if the 3 was on the other hand side, then you bring it in and so on. So here you're going to get here that your a is 2, your b is negative 5, and your c is going to be 3. And then you're going to plug in the formula. Negative, put a bracket so that you know that it's going to be negative 5 plus or minus root negative 5 all squared, replacing the b, minus 4 times your a is 2 and your c is 3, all divided by 2 multiplied by a. So negative 5 is just positive 5, negative 5 all squared, So notice that I put the b inside the bracket because it's all going to be squared. So this is going to be 25 minus 4 times 2 times 3, which is minus 8 times 3, which is 24 over 4. So this is going to give you 5 plus or minus root 1, which is simply 1 over 4. So you can actually, this is equivalent to 5 plus 1 over 4, which is 6 over 4, or 5 minus 1 over 4, which is 1. So actually from the answers you can see that this could have been factorized since you have a fraction and numbers, but still the quadratic equation formula can solve any of these equations whether they're factorizable or not, but it's definitely going to take more time.